Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and this is the truth about skill-based matchmaking. Now I want to talk about the arguments for skill-based matchmaking, against skill-based matchmaking, and I really want to just dive into the nitty-gritty, dirty details of this topic, and give you some insight onto the different arguments that there are, as well as give my opinion on the subject. So let's just jump right into it. With skill-based matchmaking, in most situations, for the average gamer, it is a net positive. If you look at skill-based matchmaking and what it does, it allows for more balanced gameplays for the average player. And that sounds like a damn good thing, because if you look at the population of any video game, well, ever, the majority of the population is average players. They're not pulling off triple quick scopes and all these amazing plays every game like a top-tier professional MLG pro player, right? They're going to suck some games, and they're going to play great some games, and they're going to make a lot of mistakes. And as they balance these games with skill-based matchmaking, hopefully they run into a situation where they win about 50% of the time. That is the goal of skill-based matchmaking, and that's great. I think that's a good thing to have. Some of the games they're going to get dominated, and they'll hopefully learn something from it. Some of the games they'll do the dominating, and maybe they'll learn something else. But at the end of the day, things feel balanced, they feel mildly competitive, and that average player that only gets to play a couple hours a night, or, a week, he has a good time when he's playing online. And I think most companies want to cater to this massive audience, and skill-based matchmaking is a viable option for that, depending, how you view it. One of the other things that people who enjoy skill-based matchmaking like to say is, skill-based matchmaking defends me from getting dominated from top-tier players like Mtashed, because we all know Mtashed is one of the best in the game. He's the Rumble King, right? And I don't want to play Mtashed because that would be unfun. Getting absolutely slaughtered and dominated by Mtashed, the best in the business, isn't a fun experience. And I recognize that. If you go run into a pro team as an average Joe, I cannot imagine dying 30 times in a row very fun. But you also have to recognize that maybe that skill-based matchmaking is negatively impacting someone else. Maybe that little Mtashed, the best in the business, isn't having a great time with skill-based matchmaking. What I mean by this is maybe skill-based matchmaking doesn't impact everyone the same. While skill-based matchmaking may balance the lobbies, and for the average player, they have a good, most likely better experience because of it, a top-tier player like KJ Hovey may have a much worse off experience because of it. Now, this argument might get a little convoluted. I want you to hear me out, though, okay? If you look at an average player's lobby, he's going to dominate some games and thrive in them. There's some games he's going to get shit on by a really good player. He's going to make mistakes, and he's either going to get punished for those mistakes, or because everyone else is really average in the lobby, he's going to get away with it. He's going to have a really good time. But when you get better, and the skill gap increases, and you're a top-tier player, and skill-based matchmaking starts matching you with other really good players, when you make a mistake, you get punished extremely hard. And if you look at the lobby that I'm playing in right now, I'm playing against a stacked team of 4, with every player in most likely the top, let's say, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5,000 players in the world. If you looked at the stats of all these guys, they're most likely in the top 0.05% of players. Maybe even more than 0.03% of players. These guys are fantastic. And I'm by myself here in a lobby of random players. The game has said, you're this good that you should be playing against these players. And that's fine. That's a big compliment. I'm very happy that they chose me as valid to play against these players. But I'm about to get shit on, because these guys are so good at filling in lanes and dueling that unless I play like a god, I'm not going to have a very fun experience. However, even if I had a full team of equal skill and we were duking it out here on the battlefield, it's not necessarily fun all the time to play like this, because when you have players of this caliber and you're playing hyper-aggressive, hyper-competitive games like this, sometimes It is stressful and it isn't fun having to battle and grind your way through every game. Yes, I believe competition is a good thing. Yes, I do find it fun to play against these good players. I'm sniping these guys, some of the best in the world, and I feel damn good. I'm getting hyped up, I'm getting jacked up, I'm getting super, super excited that I'm making these plays against these players. Yeah, there is some adrenaline going, there is some excitement flowing, absolutely. But when you have to do this every single game and try your absolute hardest to win and never be rewarded with huge multi-kills because 3 people aren't going to make a mistake in a row at this caliber, it gets a little dull. It gets a little boring. And that's the argument that a lot of the kind of top-tier players have is it is so sweaty and competitive. It feels like I'm in a tournament every game. And you might be saying, well, it's a balanced lobby. That's how that's how it feels for me. And without sounding like a complete dick, I do not agree with that because they are not the same thing. And if you don't believe me, picture it this way. If you took 2 random teams and they were playing some Halo against each other, you filmed it and watched it, you might see some big mistakes, you might see some big plays, but you're going to watch that gameplay and then compare it to 2 professional MLG Halo teams playing a game. Same map, same mode. They will not look anything alike. The routes they take, the movements they make, the duels they take. There might be 1 or 2 double kills throughout the entire game. There are going to be almost no massively epic moments more often than not because it's a grind for every kill. If someone pops a super in an average lobby, they might get a big triple kill because some people just don't run away the way they should. They think, hey, maybe I can duel them. And they go get Dawn bladed in the face. Where if you go into a lobby like this and pop a super, everyone runs the fuck away because they know that they're not going to kill you. You run into situations where the gameplay just gets a little bit more boring. Is it fun to go off and dominate some people sometimes? Yes. But is it okay for someone like myself to be in every lobby with a stacked team dominating people? Absolutely not. And I understand that. I recognize that. But at the same time, if I want to play with my brother who is absolutely horrendous at this game, I can't do it in a lot of situations because it matches it up with huge, big-name streamers and top-tier players, and he gets dominated, and then I get dominated because he's always dead. Skill-based matchmaking starts feeling a little bit oppressive on me, right? You know, there's a lot of ways where it helps people. There's a lot of people that feel that it's a necessity. There's some people that despise it because they feel like it's not fun anymore. And that's where things get, tough because I recognize there is no one fix for it. But I think what most people are hoping for or praying for with Destiny 2 is at least the ability to have a choice. If there can be the competitive game mode where I play against people of my skill level in these extremely competitive games, and I'm in the mood for it, I would love to be able to do that. But also, if I want to play with my brother or someone who isn't of the highest skill level, I want to be able to play Russian roulette in the social lobbies or in the non-ranked or non-skill-based matchmaking lobbies, where yes, some games we might get dominated, but some games we might dominate. I think it would be a nice, relaxing thing to be able to play that gambling game. Go into the quick play lobby, see what I find, see what competition is out there, have a couple beers, not take it too seriously, and just play some Destiny for fun. I don't want to play a tournament all the time. And I feel like with skill-based matchmaking and in the situation of someone like myself, it does feel like that. And I know some of you guys might be shaking your head and you might not agree, but I'm just trying to open your eyes to another side of the argument. But also, I want the people that are saying, fuck skill-based matchmaking, remove it, to recognize that you would be screwing over thousands upon thousands of players. There needs to be some sort of discussion going on the best way to do this. You can't just turn it off. You can't just crank it up. There is a lot that goes into this. It's not an easy fix, but I hope that with good, solid dialogue between the developers, content creators, and the average guy, we can come out to some sort of agreement on the best way to move forward. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoy. I'll see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.